This is a big second round matchup in the West right here, guys. The Detroit Red Wings against the San Jose Sharks. What? They did? With Thornton and everything. Nabokov, boy. Okay, round 2 matchup between the Detroit Red Wings and the Anaheim Ducks. Really? And you know, I think the knee-jerk reaction for this series would be to go with Detroit because, well, they're skilled, they won the Cup last year, and they're Detroit. But at the same time, the Ducks just took out the President's Trophy winners, so no one's safe. What's great about this series is you get a rematch of the conference final from a couple years ago, and you have the last 2 Stanley Cup champions. With the Ducks, you have a veteran defense core headed by Chris Pronger and Scott Niedermayer. And with Detroit, you have arguably the most skilled team in the league with Captain Nick Lidstrom, guys like Henrik Zetterberg, and MVP candidate Pavel Datsyuk. I want Datsyuk to win the Hart Trophy just to do a repeat of last year's acceptance speech. Thank you. Want to make speech long but English short. Fortunately for Pavel, he does his talking on the ice. Fortunately for the Red Wings, with the exception of a couple "how did that go in" goals by Chris Osgood, he's played pretty well. But then you look at the Ducks, and Jonas Hiller just might have been the best goalie of the first round. Which is a bit strange considering how much people make of his rebound control. Now, I've read and I've seen and I've heard on all different forms of media about this guy's rebound control. He kicks pucks out, and people are saying that the Red Wings are just going to eat that up. But I wouldn't jump to that conclusion because Pronger doesn't play on the Blues anymore. Another advantage the Ducks have is, well, they beat the Wings a couple years ago in the conference final, although that was a different team. 2 main exceptions from that team: Sammy Paulson, no longer a Duck; Travis Moen, also no longer a Duck, and that was a big part of their shutdown line. Then again, not only did the Ducks not have Moen for the first round, the Sharks had him, and they still beat them in 6. And this is starting to seem like the theme of the first round. You have one team who was in a war in the first round, and another team that completely manhandled their first round opponent. Unfortunately for the Red Wings, the Ducks are a lot bigger and meaner than the Columbus Blue Jackets. But unfortunately for the Ducks, the Wings aren't exactly the sort of team that wants to challenge you physically. They'll go around you, they'll use their systems, and they'll just frustrate the heck out of you, and before you know it, it's 5-1. Now, under the assumption that the Detroit defense system holds strong, and Chris Osgood plays at least as good as he did in the first round, the Wings should be able to beat the Ducks. However, if that doesn't happen, I could really easily see the Ducks taking the series. I don't know who to call in this series. The Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, fine. I really don't want to call a winner. I'm going to go with Detroit, but I think it's going to be a really hard-fought series. Got 3 questions for you. As always, who's going to win the series? Number 2, which Chris Osgood are we going to see? And number 3, is Jonas Hiller's rebound problem actually going to be a problem? Take care and enjoy round 2.